Welcome to Mind Balance Yoga. I'm Dr. Sara Morrow. I'm a licensed psychologist specializing in child and family mental health, and I teach therapeutic yoga. And this class here today is community yoga offered through Morning Light Yoga Studio, our wonderful program offered every weekend with a variety of teachers. And each month we have a pose that we all focus on. And here this month we're working on Garudasana, which is eagle pose. And eagle pose is a challenging balancing practice. And so whenever we're working on balance in yoga, we are exercising the mind and our ability to have mental focus and concentration and sustain that concentration for as long as needed until we transition out of the pose. And it's a really powerful brain exercise. Our body is giving us constant feedback as we, wobble or start to lose our balance. It's usually feedback to us that we have lost our train of concentration, or our focus has shifted. Typically, that's because some thought arises, which is just what the human mind does. We think a lot. And sometimes we've just lost focus of that standing leg, the foundation of the pose, and rooting down through that foot that's supporting the balance of the body. And so when we start to lose our balance, it helps us go, bring it back to mindfulness, back to full awareness of the body, awareness of the breath, and trying to resist the mind wandering in that automatic stream of thought. And so balancing work is really powerful for getting better and better at mindfulness. And so today I want to talk a little bit about mindfulness as a part of what we call participatory medicine. And I'd like to share with you some of the work by Jon Kabat-Zinn. I've been reading his book lately, and I'll show it to you here, Full Catastrophe Living, which seems appropriate for the times. And the subtitle there, Using the Wisdom of Your Body and Mind to Face Stress, Pain, and Illness. And Jon Kabat-Zinn he actually has a PhD in molecular biology, but he's dedicated his whole life to researching sort of mind-body interactions and how mindfulness-based stress reduction affects the brain, the body, the immune system, and kind of whole person healing through any kind of, physical or mental health ailment you can imagine. This book is a thick read. You can see it's 600 pages. There are no drawings in there. It is just a ton of information. This first book was published in 1990. Jon Kabat-Zinn started a program called Mindfulness-Based Stress Reduction, MBSR. It's a very well-researched clinical program or tool now being used all over the world. It's began out of University of Massachusetts Medical Center. They have a whole stress reduction clinic there. And they have done decades of research on just about every health population you can imagine, trying to help people with very significant medical struggles learn very secular basic mindfulness practices as a part of their healing, and that participatory medicine, meaning that we're empowering patients to come to realize where they have choice in their managing their struggles, their pain, their suffering, coping as well as they can, increasing resilience through those struggles, and really hopefully facilitating optimal healing, optimal well-being. And so they've done research with people with cancer, heart disease, high blood pressure, back injury, debilitating back pain, all kinds of chronic pain conditions, depression, anxiety, trauma. Oh my gosh, the list goes on. And really what they say is mindfulness helps just about everybody with just about every form of suffering humans go through. The idea being that we have pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. And our reactions to pain and challenges tend to make things worse. So pain happens, but how we think and perceive what's happening with our struggles, our loss of ability, our fears about where things are going, our fears of death, that mental and reactive piece makes pain worse. And if we're having stress reaction on top of pain. It's going to prevent the body's capacity for self-healing, which is what we've talked about the last couple months in my classes. And so it's really a beautiful science, and it's very secular. So if you read this book, there's nothing that would make a typical American uncomfortable. There's no religion, there's no spirituality, it's not anything Eastern. It is very much basic practices, pretty much what we do in the classes that I teach here. It's training in sitting meditation, guided relaxation, a huge focus on the body scan, so just bringing awareness into the body, breath awareness, noticing the suffering mindset or negative stream of thought, and choosing to shift the mind towards healing perception and thought, such as appreciation, acceptance, compassion, letting go, loving kindness meditation. So we know that these states of mind change the reactivity in the nervous system, calming down the sympathetic nervous system, lowering cortisol and stress hormones in the body. That's going to reduce inflammation, and it's going to stimulate the immune system to be able to promote the body's own healing capacity. So it's really lovely stuff, and it's not very complicated, but basically in these 600 pages of data and guidance from Jon Kabat-Zinn in this book, the take-home message is you can learn about mindfulness and think about it, intellectualize it, but when it comes down to it, you have to do the practice. And that's what Herbert Benson told us about the relaxation response, is you must spend sufficient time. You have to actually sit your butt down and stay still and commit to going inward and being tuned in. And if we spend that time on a consistent basis, we start to change. And we know that the brain physically changes in structure. We know our hormone and neurochemistry profile changes. We know that gene expression changes. But you have to do the time. And so that is why, honestly, as a psychologist, I teach yoga. Talk therapy is great, but my situation with that is saying, hey, client, this is a practice you should do. You should practice breath awareness. You should practice relaxation. Gentle yoga is beneficial for everything in mental health. But my clients tend to struggle to put in the time. And so, gosh, about 10 years ago, I realized I turned to this mindfulness body meditation practice because it's, for me, the optimal self-care. It's the best therapy I've ever found. And so I started realizing that I should be offering this. If I truly am dedicated to helping people heal on the deepest level, then I need to guide them through the practice. So that's why we're here, because I want you to have this felt experience of mindfulness and drop into that space and commit to the time. And if you consistently can do that, I want to empower you to find your optimal health, your optimal life experience, really. So, mindfulness is not complicated. It's really just about awareness, and it's something that is challenging, but we get better and better at it as we practice. And why? Because we're literally practicing neuroplasticity. We're changing the structure of the brain as we spend the time in awareness. And the mind will wander, and we'll get distracted, and we'll get fidgety and restless. We just catch that and come back. Catch it and come back. And as we do that, we enhance our ability to really be aware when we need to be, to maintain that concentration as long as necessary, to catch our automatic reactivity to pain, to struggle, to the world, and go, whoa, that hurts me. That hurts me to react like that. So where can I make a choice? And what would be the best path to feeling well and handling this the best way I can? And so my kind of cliche motto, all my clients and students probably know, is without awareness, you have no power. So when we come in here, the space, mind balance yoga, the main goal is awareness. Can you be aware throughout the practice as much of the time as possible of the whole experience? The body, the senses, the breath, the mind, just the energy of the moment. And so that's the intention and why we do this kind of yoga together. So anyway, that's what we're going to be doing today. And I hope that you enjoy just some going inward. Eagle's challenging, and that's okay. You're just going to kind of work with it where you're at. And I always recommend you got to have a bit of sense of humor about yourself. I think that's an important part of resilience, is Okay, maybe eagle's not there today. Don't worry about it. Just try and bring it in. That's as much focus as you can. If you come out, try again. And so we'll be doing a few different forms of balance work today, eagle being the one really challenging practice. So, all right, so if you are on your mat, great. Otherwise, go ahead and get settled down. You're going to want a cushion to sit on. I'm going to relocate to my mat here. And again, if you have a bit of a height, just a couple inches under the hips, it's just going to help you feel more comfortable in sitting meditation. And if you feel more physically comfortable, then you're going to be able to keep your mind more steady. And so that taking that minute to fold a towel or a blanket or get a pillow can really be worthwhile. That height under the hips helps us have a nice level pelvis so that the spine can have its natural curvature. And we're trying to balance the weight of the head basically right over the tip of the tailbone. And so as you come into this easy pose, you can cross the legs or take the knees a little bit wider. Try to kind of rock the weight of the torso forward and back, a little side to side, and find this tall and kind of dignified posture. I think it's what Jon Kabat-Zinn says, a dignified posture. And this little tipping point where the weight of the head is centered right over the tailbone. And then from there, you might squeeze the shoulders back and release them down. Hands might slide in. And then if you feel comfortable closing eyes, do so. But you might, for a moment before you close eyes, just take in the world around you. Just really bring awareness to your visual environment, shapes and colors and the lighting and the space you're in. And then as you close eyes, try to hold awareness of that space as you also bring awareness inward. The sound of the singing bowl is our cue to take our first intentional deep breath. Breathing from nose to belly. And exhaling through the mouth to fully empty the lungs. And again, a big deep breath. And a big release on exhale. Letting go. And after a couple cleansing deep exhales, begin to slow the breath down. Our optimal breath being roughly 5 to 6 seconds in, 5 to 6 seconds out, averaging 5 to 6 breaths per minute. And it's an easy breath, a slow flow of air, a gentle expansion of the lungs. The diaphragm guiding the breath to the lower lungs, feeling belly rise and fall with the movement of the diaphragm. And then just come into awareness here, asking for a moment, how is it in my mind right now? How is it in my heart right now? How is it in my body right now? And rather than thinking about these issues, feel how it is in the mind, in the heart, in the body. Right in this moment, bringing a kind curiosity without expectation or judgment, just noticing. As you scan through the body, you might be aware of any areas of tension or discomfort, and move to soften, releasing layers of tension from that part of the body. You might soften the eyes, soften the jaw, Imagine smoothing tension away from the forehead, the temples, the jawline. Tension flowing down and out, away from you. Letting go of anything the body is holding. Mindfulness is a way of being. Awareness is a kind of knowing that is simply bigger than thought and gives us more options for how we might choose to be in relationship to whatever arises in our minds and hearts, our bodies and our lives. Jon Kabat-Zinn. Breathing in and breathing out. Just this. And the mind will wander. And as you notice a thought has arisen, just gently invite the thought to pass by. Just notice it, let it go, and come back to the present moment. Aware of the sounds around you, the sense of touch in the body, the movement of the body with each breath in and each breath out. Just this. Re-lengthen the spine. Soften the shoulders more deeply. Challenge yourself to be in stillness and quiet for just a moment. And on your next inhale, palms turn up. Exhale, soften through the body. And next breath in, hands float slowly to the heart, thumbs touch. Cradling sacred space between the palms, thumbs to the heart. And here in Anjali Mudra, we come to set our intention. So just contemplate for a moment how you find awareness and distraction playing out in your life. And see yourself learning to pause and notice. As often as you can, to come to the present moment, to explore the inner and outer world with kind curiosity, without judgment. And in that moment of awareness, seeing that you can choose your response. You can choose to regulate the breath, reassuring the nervous system of safety. You can choose to soften tension from the body, to smile, to laugh. You can choose to direct the mind towards a new perception, a different view of things, with acceptance, appreciation, And perhaps a zooming out to recognize the larger picture of life as it is and the interconnectedness of all beings. See this becoming more and more the way that you walk through life, bringing awareness throughout the day, soaking in the present moment. Deep breath in. Big breath out with release. And begin to inhale, prayer hands float up. Hands begin to open as eyes open, receiving back visual input from the world around us. And exhale, palms turn out, arms float down. Slow transition to the outer world here. Pausing in stillness. And then from here, drawing legs together, extend the feet out in front. And for a moment, just a little massage to those kneecaps, perhaps encouraging some circulation up and down the length of the legs. And then from here, point the toes low, as if pressing tips of toes to the floor. Lift your heart, sit up tall, flex the feet, pull the toes back toward the shins, press out through the heels, and spread the toes wide. So one physical focus in yoga is to create more space between the bones of the feet, which is very helpful in all of our balancing practice. And then from here, big roll of the ankles, a couple times each direction, just releasing. These feet are going to work hard in eagle, holding up the whole weight of the body on one foot at a time. So just a little love as we release tension from the ankles and the feet. And then from here, set your feet actively. Inhale, lift your heart. Begin to hinge from the hip crease and walk your hands forward gently, tucking the chin down. And as you find that point of stretch, just release here. Gentle bend in the back of the knees, palms turn up, releasing the neck, the shoulders. And deepen the breath here. Really feel the breath move the body. And check in. How is the mind? How is my heart? How is my body right now? It is this process of coming to terms with things as they are that embodies the process of healing. Jon Kabat-Zinn. And then fingertips are going to come in. Inhale, roll yourself up. And then holding to the inner knees, we're going to step the soles of the feet together. So coming into Badakanasana here, our bound angle pose. Feet can come in as close toward you as feels comfortable. Looking for symmetry in the arches of the feet. Energetically press the feet in as knees reach out, not so much down. Inhale, lift your heart, lift your chin. And exhale, chin to chest. So it'll release in the back of the neck. Again, inhale, lift your heart, lift your chin, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and exhale, chin to chest, rounding the back. And then inhale here, sitting up, little hinge coming forward, press the feet in, just really accessing those hip joints here, softening through the face and the jaw whenever we come into sensation into the hips, trying to give the body permission to release held tension. It is safe to let go. And walking hands in on an inhale, rising up. And we're going to set the right foot down and bring the left foot all the way across to the outer right thigh. Now the right foot can either come to the shin side of the left leg, or if you're able to, step the right foot across to the outer side of the left leg. And then we're trying to bring that right hip down, squaring the hips. There's a sense of internal rotation here, trying to draw the inner thighs inward. Wrapping hands around the right knee, inhale, lengthen. Extend the left arm in a T, and exhale, begin to twist to the right. Hand or elbow will wrap the right knee. Right hand is going to press down behind your hip to support a tall spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rotate, turning to the right. Turning the head only gently, and now pulling that right leg in towards the chest to access the outer hip. Breathing into that outer right hip, really breathing low to feel the belly compress into that right thigh. Twisting deeply through the belly. And then with hand to the knee, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, unwind, coming forward. And now we're going to continue that right foot all the way to outer left thigh, coming to stack the knees. Now your knees might not stack, and that's okay. You might just bring that lower right leg across, but working towards this deep internal hip rotation into what's called Gomukhasana, which is happy cow face. So we're looking at bottom and top jaw of cow face here. And so as best you can, aligning the knees. This is intense into that right hip typically. So work to deepen the breath, soften the jaw, and perhaps as the body feels safe in that sensation, you can begin to walk the hands forward, coming into a gentle fold here. Coming down notch by notch as the body lets go, and holding long enough so that we can ease deep layers of tension from that right hip. So one benefit of eagle pose is it's an uncommon position of the legs. We'll be crossing the legs high on the thighs, this internal rotation of the hips. And it accesses other areas of the hip joint where we may not tap into very often. It can be challenging but very beneficial to release all areas of the hip joint. Fingertips will press down, inhale, rise back up, and then we're going to release those legs, coming back to bound angle, pressing the feet in toward each other. Inhale, lift the heart, exhale, fold. Might feel good here now in this external rotation of the hips to release that right leg. Breathing into the hips, create space. Exhale, release tension. And walking hands back in, rise up, set the left foot down. The right foot's going to come as far across to outer left thigh as we can. And then the left foot will either step to the shin or hopefully across that right leg, coming to this cross leg position. Holding onto the knees, lengthen through the spine. Inhale, extend the right arm to a T. And exhale, gentle twist. Elbow or hand wrapping the left knee. Left hand pressing down behind you to lengthen the spine. Inhale, reach through the crown of the head. Exhale, begin to twist from the belly. Turn the head gently. And now pull that left leg in towards the chest. Really feeling deep stretch to outer left hip. And breathe low in the lungs, feeling that compression of the belly, pressing into that upper left leg. Really twisting deeply through the lower spine. And softening that outer plane of the left leg. And bring the hand to that knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, slowly untwist, coming forward. And then continue that left foot to outer right thigh, working towards stacking the knees. Again, finding any leg position that's within your range of motion is just fine. Think of internally rotating the upper thighs. You might even do this little adjustment of drawing the flesh of the thighs down through that inner leg. Try to anchor that left sitting bone. Inhale, lift your heart long through the spine. And then slowly, gently coming forward. Feeling the body tense in the intensity of this stretch and holding there as we breathe to allow the body to feel safe, to let go of that hip tension. And then walking our hands forward notch by notch, keeping the face and jaw relaxed, gentle smile. Deep breath into left hip. Holding awareness of that sensation and rejecting any negative thoughts that arise. Noticing if the mind is reactive, not liking that challenge. And try to hold a neutral awareness without judgment. And then inhale, walk the hands in. And then coming out of this pose, release that left leg, right foot to the floor. And leaning back here, you might just windshield wiper those knees side to side. So feet are a little bit wide here, leaning back into my hands. And just dropping the knees side to side. It might feel nice to release those hips here. All right, and then coming off your blanket, if you have still been sitting on some height, come back to bound angle one more time, but with a wide or longer diamond shape. So nice long stance here in bound angle. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, fold. Might feel nice here, this external rotation, releasing those hips. Breathing into that center of the body, letting go of tension with each breath out. And then inhale, come up just halfway and begin to straighten the legs out in front of you. Coming back to down to Tadasana, this seated forward fold. Releasing here one more time, stretching through the back of the legs. Palms up, chin tucked. Inner awareness here in Dandasana, one of our resting forward folds. And then fingertips press down. Inhale, roll yourself up, crossing at the lower legs. Come forward to hands and knees, setting up for child's pose. So as we touch our big toes together, sitting back on the heels, knees will come a little bit wide. Inhale here, and then exhale, begin to slide yourself out. So think about rotating the pelvis forward, hinging deeply from the hip crease as you stretch the spine out. Long stretch here in the back body, pressing forward through the hands, reaching back through the hips. You can rock or sway a little bit, releasing those hips after that challenging Gomukhasana work. And then from here, coming on fingertips, inhale, walk hands to the right. Pressing fingertips down and forward, reach the left hip back. Taking a deep breath here into left side body. We're expanding space in the rib cage. So there's more range of movement for the breath. So in some longevity research, they found the number one predictor of longevity to be the capacity of the lungs, the ability to breathe fully and deeply. If this at all hurts your neck, you can always support the forehead onto the right forearm. Just allow the head to stay lifted. Inhale, hands come back to center. Exhale, lengthen out. And then inhale, fingertips to the left. Reaching fingertips forward and down, especially those right fingertips. Reach the right hip back. And then deep breath into right side ribs. Using the breath to stretch the intercostal muscles. And over time, expanding our range of breath, hoping to move toward that 5 to 6 second breath rhythm. Slowing the rate of breathing to extend the length of life. And then inhale, hands back to center, reach it out. Next breath in, rising to tabletop. Adjust your legs so that the knees are directly under the hips, toes are pointing straight back. And then from here, gazing right down toward the mat. We're going to inhale, lifting the tailbone, slowly extending the spine forward into cow. Exhale, drop your tailbone, pull the belly button in, release the crown of the head into cat. Really press the heart away from the floor. Inhale slowly, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause. Moving at your own pace, trying to move as slowly as you can with the breath rhythm. Extending the spine on inhale, deeply flexing the spine on exhale. Leading through the tailbone as you reach the heart forward. Heart lifts, chin lifts. And exhaling slowly, pulling in the abdominals, releasing the head. The next inhale, come back to tabletop, and exhale back to child's pose. Pausing here in awareness, turning palms up, releasing effort. Tiny shifts in viewpoint, in attitude, and in your efforts to be present can have enormous effects on your body, on your mind, and in the world. Even the tiniest manifestation of mindfulness in any moment might give rise to an intuition or insight that could be hugely transforming. Jon Kabat-Zinn. From child's pose, hands to the mat. Inhale, rise up to tabletop. We're going to do a little balancing work here. So we're going to extend the right leg back behind us, coming onto those toes. Gaze is just beyond the fingertips, neck in neutral, and then reach the left hand forward onto pinky side. With strong visual focus, inhale and lift left arm, right leg, working to reach the arm to the height of the ear, leveling the sacrum, so we're dropping that outer right hip. And visual focus here to help us maintain balance as we breathe and hold. Reaching as long as you can through the fingertips and that right big toe ball mound. Becoming aware here of the ever-present challenge of gravity. Holding and breathing. Mental focus. Mindful attention to the present moment. Feel sensations start to increase as gravity gets more challenging to resist. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release to table. Setting your knees square there, reach the hands forward. Bring the hips back into puppy dog here. So nice long torso, reaching the heart towards the mat, but keeping always some energetic lift into the armpit region to protect the shoulders. Stretching the back here in puppy dog. And inhale, coming back to tabletop. Doing our balance work second side. Reach your left leg back, curling the toes under. Reach your right arm forward, coming onto the pinky. Visual focus as you're ready. Inhale, lift. Coming into this parallel body, parallel to the floor. Reaching to lengthen through the left big toe ball mound, right fingertips. Mind is steady. Breath is flowing. Beginning to feel the challenge, resisting gravity here. Exercising our mindfulness capacity to sustain one-pointed concentration. Breathing through the nose. Noticing challenge and sensation without the mind judging that as negative. Inhale, reach. Exhale, release. Stepping that left knee down. Inhale here. And exhale back to child's pose. Releasing the hips. Palms can turn up. Hesitating here to come inward. And then turning palms to the mat. Inhale to table. And then we're going to step one foot back, followed by the next, coming into plank pose. So plank is always optional, but it's a beneficial challenge, full body workout position, reaching up through those inner thighs, pressing the heart away from the mat. Neck is in neutral, gazing just beyond the fingertips. Core is engaged, breathing through the nose. Challenging yourself to be patient as sensation increases. So Eddie Stern teaches that yoga helps us learn to endure small bits of hardship, moments of discomfort, to be steady through the sensation. Nice work, everybody. Inhale and exhale. Lower down 2 inches and hold. Deep breath in. And exhale, lowering onto the belly with control. As you come to the belly, release to the tops of the feet. Hands forward, elbows tuck into Sphinx pose. So here in Sphinx, we're going to roll to press through the outer edges of the feet to help broaden through the low back, protecting the spine. Energetically, we'll tug the hands in towards us as we lift, really reaching the heart up and forward, lengthening from belly button to collarbone, and lifting out of those shoulder joints. Breathing here in this gentle back bend. And then from here, we're going just to lift the elbows up, coming into seal pose. Release the right arm, and we're going to drive that right arm under the left arm, and then bring your right shoulder to the mat, bringing it as low down away from the air as you can. Back of that left hand or right hand is to the mat, and then begin to walk your left hand forward, trying to square the shoulders. So we're dropping that left shoulder down heavily, trying to meet the right in position. And this will create a deep stretch across the right shoulder. So this is trying to open up the back of the shoulders to help us have more access in eagle pose. Holding here long enough to really release deep tension into that right shoulder joint. Draw the right shoulder down away from the ear. You can even bring the forehead to the mat. And then bringing the left hand back in on an inhale, press up, back to seal, and then left arm. So we're going to drive the left arm under the right. Bring the left shoulder to the mat, down away from the ear. Back of that left hand is on the ground. Begin to walk the right hand forward. Perhaps bringing the forehead to the mat and trying to just have that right shoulder be heavy towards the earth to really create deep stretch across the back of the left shoulder. So whenever you might have had a massage and that massage therapist gets into that shoulder and neck region, we often discover that we have knots and deep held tension. And so this stretch here can be a way that we can release deep into the shoulders, where we tend to be reactive in stress response. Just part of our self-protective posture that occurs when we feel any sense of threat. Right shoulder heavy, left shoulder opening. And inhale, begin to come up. Right hand will press down. Left hand comes back to our Sphinx pose. Inhale here, and exhale, begin to come all the way down, bringing hands along your sides. We're setting up for locust. Roll the shoulders back, squeeze the blades together, active through the hands and feet as you inhale and lift here. Legs lift, arms lift, triceps are actively engaged. Breathing here in locust. Inhale and exhale, coming down to crocodile. Coming onto the left cheek, head turns to the right. Palms open. And come into a body scan here, noticing the whole body. What are the sensations? The heart and the lungs, the temperature. And how is it in my mind? And then inhale, turn the head to center. This time we'll interlock hands at the sacrum, roll the shoulders back, and inhale, lift here into a heart-opening locust pose. So really squeezing the shoulder blades together, reversing that deep stretch we just did, opening up through the heart center of the body, reaching actively through the big toe ball mounds. Inhale, lift, and exhale, release to crocodile. This time head to the left. Coming onto that right cheek. And using crocodile here as a pose of full body awareness. Mindfulness is essentially about relationality, how we are in relationship to everything, including our own minds and bodies, our thoughts and emotions, our past and what transpired to bring us, still breathing, into this moment. and how we can learn to live our way into every aspect of life with integrity, with kindness toward ourselves and others, and with wisdom. Jon Kabat-Zinn. And from here in crocodile, inhale, head to center. Hands are going to come under your shoulders. Hug the elbows into the outer ribs. And inhale, begin to press up into cobra. So just a little back bend here, squeezing elbows in, lifting the heart forward, strengthening the low back. And then we're going to curl the toes under. And if you're up for this, inhale, begin to press your way into up dog, lifting the whole body off the mat. And then exhale, pull the belly in, lift the hips high, transitioning all the way into downward facing dog. Pausing here for a moment. Of course, in down dog, you can bend the knees one at a time, walking the dog to release each leg, finding your pose here. Shaking out the head a little bit, make sure the neck is comfortable, gazing toward the feet, broadening the shoulders and upper arm bones, inner thighs spiraling up and back. And as you inhale, look forward, exhale, step or hop feet to the hands. Inhale, extend the spine, and exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Pausing here, perhaps a little bit of swaying to release the low back. Then we're going to come into our yoga squat here in the beginning of class today. Heels out, toes all the way out. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, begin to squat, bending knees and hips deeply. Elbows come to inner knees, hands to prayer. Of course, you can do a higher squat or a wider stance, finding your best way to access those hip joints. Squeezing the pelvic floor in and up to support safety in the body, and releasing with exhale any tension into the hips. And inhale here, exhale, plant hands down, lift the hips back up, turn the toes in and heels in, back to Uttanasana. We're going to set up for chair pose, so making sure you have a few inches between the big toes and the feet are parallel. We pause here in these inversions to allow blood flow to come to the brain, that also being a way that can enhance our mental focus, our clarity of thought, our ability to sustain concentration. Inhale, look forward as you bend your knees and hips deeply. Exhale, swing arms back, pinkies are high, engage triceps. And then inhale, rise up into mighty pose, chair pose. Roll the shoulders down, lift the arms up energetically. Shift the weight toward the heels as you sit back. And you'll start to feel a lot of sensation in those quads. Stop the mind from judging it. Hold steady awareness. Keep the breath flowing. Nice job and challenge, everybody. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, turn the palms out and float down to Tadasana. Turn the palms forward, roll the shoulders back. Pausing here in full body awareness. The feet rooting down, the heart and head lifting up. Again, that sense of balancing the weight of the head over the tailbone, the pelvis over the feet, shoulders over the hips. Holding awareness of all the sensation of the present moment. As you begin to feel the heart rate slow, the breath rhythm slow. Gentle smile to the face as you savor this moment. Just this. Okay, from here, inhale, rise, big sweeping breath. Exhale, prayer hands to the heart. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, prayer hands, or arms will come to a T, palms up. And now we're coming into eagle. So we're going to cross left arm over the right toward the elbow. As we then spiral arms together, palms are going to touch. So this is our eagle arm position. We work to scoop the elbows forward and out. Draw the hands away from the face, working toward this 90-degree angle in the arms. Okay, visual focus, mental focus for balance. We're going to bend the knees. We're going to weigh into the left leg, come on the right toes. And then you can stay here, or we're going to lift that right foot up. Cross it high on the thighs. And then we can bring the outer edge of the right foot to that left outer leg, or we can hook the toes. Sitting back. Aware of that left foot supporting the pose, hands away from the face. Lovely. Inhale, release the arms. We're going to flow into warrior one as we step the right foot back. Inhale, reach it up. Inhale, open up to warrior two, gazing over left fingertips. Left palm up. Inhale, reverse warrior, side rib breath. Exhale to side angle, elbow to the knee. Right arm's going to come up and over the body. Inhale and exhale, windmill. Right arm down, then the left into high lunge. Inhale here and exhale, step the right foot forward. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, fold. Pressing through the feet. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, prayer hands to the heart. Second side, inhale, rise. Exhale, palms to the heart. Inhale, prayer hands up. Exhale, arms in a T, palms open, external rotation to upper arms. We're going to cross right arm over the left as we spiral the forearms together, reaching to have those left fingertips grab the right palm. Elbows out and forward, hands away from the face. Visual and mental focus here as you bend both knees. Here we're going to weigh into the right leg and unweigh those left toes. Option to stay right here. Otherwise, with balance and mental focus, inhale, lift the left knee, cross high on the thighs, work towards hooking those left toes around the back of the right leg. Sitting low and finding stillness here. Breathing, focusing, aware of that rooting leg. Mind steady. And on an inhale, wings fly out, reach it up, step back for warrior one. Big release here. Inhale, open and lunge to warrior two. Visual focus. Inhale, we're going to reverse, right palm comes up. Exhale, reach it forward into side angle pose, elbow to knee, left arm extending. Inhale, exhale, windmill, left arm down, followed by the right. High lunge, deep breath in. Exhale, step left foot forward. Okay, from Uttanasana here, we want your feet really close together. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, come onto tiptoe. So this is a balancing squat called Hero's Balancing Pose. Squeeze the knees together. You can keep hands to the mat. Otherwise, with visual focus, inhale, hands to the heart. Squeeze the legs together. Option to stay here or extend arms all the way up. Aware of the legs energetically reaching to squeezing together, hands reaching. Nice work. Inhale. Exhale, prayer hands to the heart. And then coming on down to the knees with toes curled under. Little foot stretch here. We're just going to inhale the right arm forward. Exhale the right arm back. Gentle range of motion. Release the shoulder. Inhale, left arm forward. And exhale, left arm backward, range of motion. Releasing the feet here, coming into Thunderbolt Pose, sitting onto the tops of the feet. Inhale, hands together. Exhale, press the palms out. Nice hand stretch, chin to chest. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale, float it down. Leaning to your right, you'll kick your feet out, coming to sit back. So pulling onto those knees for a second. Releasing the arms, begin to roll onto the back body. Little core strength here as you resist gravity. Coming down notch by notch. And as you come to your mat, squaring your hips, squaring your shoulders, and then taking the feet wide. Inhale and center, exhale, drop knees to the right, face turns to the left. Inhale, center, knees to the left, head to the right. So releasing those outer hips. One more time, inhale, center, knees to the right. Just trying to release any tension after that challenging practice. And one more time, knees to the left. Inhale, knees to the center. Pick the right foot up and exhale, squeeze the breath out. Compression through the right abdomen. Lift the right foot up. We're going to reach the right arm to the inside of the right leg and reach around for the outer edge of the foot, coming into half happy baby. So we're looking for this 90-degree zigzag here with our shin parallel to the wall, foot and hamstring parallel to the ceiling. You can stay right here, or you can drop that left leg all the way to the mat. One more deep access into that right hip joint, kind of pulling the knee down towards the earth. And then releasing that right leg to a 90 here, shifting our 90-degree left hand to outer left knee or to outer right knee. Roll to your left side, turning to your right arm sweeps up. And we're just going to let that right leg hover here in a 90-degree angle. Or if you want to go farther, you can begin to straighten that right leg and have a little bit more access into that whole outer plane of the right leg. Gentle twist here. And inhale, head to center. Release the right foot. And exhale, hug the left leg all the way in. Squeeze the breath out. And then bringing the left arm to the inner left leg, lifting the foot high, coming into half happy baby left side, and the option to straighten the right leg. Work towards finding that nice 90-degree angle in the left leg and pull the knee towards the earth. Soften the face, the jaw as you breathe into the left hip. And on an inhale, release the leg halfway. Right hand will grab the outer left knee as you roll onto your right side body, turning head to the left. You can keep that leg bent and hovering, or you can extend and straighten that left leg. Coming into whatever twist feels best to you, releasing the back as well as that outer leg. And inhale, roll onto the back, step the left foot down, step the right foot in, deep breath in. Exhale, hug both knees into the chest, really squeeze the breath out. You can lift the head here. And then releasing head back down, lift the feet up. And one more time, just point, flex, and roll the ankles, encouraging blood flow down the legs toward the heart to help the nervous system come into relaxation. Deep breath in. Exhale, hug knees to chest. Inhale, step the feet down and begin to slide out into Savasana. And just taking a moment here to square the hips, the shoulders, letting the feet splay out, palms up. And you might like to have a support underneath your head or behind the knees. You might enjoy a form of an eye pillow just to help block some of that brain activity through really telling the brain that it is okay to go inward, to not have to worry about the outer world right now. And as you lie there in Shavasana, perhaps stretch the jaw. You can even do gentle self-massage to the face, just releasing tension. Aware of the whole body, letting go of tension throughout the body. Aware of the breath, choosing to breathe slowly, deeply, following the rhythm of inhale and exhale. Our breath is the anchor to the present moment. a way to help us practice awareness, to rein in our reactivity. And if we can regulate the breath, we can choose response to the present moment. How am I in my body right now? How am I in my mind right now? How am I in my heart right now? Mindfulness allows us to be present for all that life brings, able to remain grounded and stable through it all. We learn to hold ourselves in present moment awareness, attentive, focused, empowered to direct our lives in conscious relationship to all that is. Breathing in, breathing out. Just this. Begin to deepen the breath. Visualize the breath bringing with it a beautiful healing light, flowing into the lungs and dissipating out to touch the whole body, soothing and healing. And now very patiently begin to come to the body, gently wiggling fingers and toes, squeezing and opening the hands and the feet, rolling the wrists and the ankles, and moving freely, but perhaps enjoying a big full body stretch as you reach the arms high, pointing toes low, perhaps grabbing each wrist for a little side to side flexion, little stretch to the side body. And it might feel nice on exhale to hug the knees back into the chest and rock across the back body. Maybe you'd like to come into a full happy baby pose for a moment, just to tap into both hips one more time. And as you feel ready, roll to your right side. Pause for a moment here to be very aware of sensation shifting. New relationship to gravity, a change in circulation. And then using your left hand to press yourself up, roll the torso up, and with inner awareness, come to a sitting pose. Decide which leg you'd like to have in front. Establish strong connection through the sitting bones. Level the pelvis and lengthen through the spine. Balance the weight of the head over the tip of the tailbone. Soften the shoulders down the back. And then as you come back to the breath, smile with awareness. Sit like a mountain. Sit with a sense of strength and dignity. Be steadfast. Be majestic. Be natural and at ease in awareness. No matter how many winds are blowing, no matter how many clouds are swirling, be intimate with everything and sit like a mountain. Just this. Inhale, palms turn up. Exhale, release the breath. Next, inhale, prayer hands to the heart. Come back to intention. How have you lately been doing in body, in mind, in your heart? How might you bring mindful awareness into these moments of struggle or pain and see that you can choose your response to soften, to smile, to breathe and relax, to notice the automatic thinking mind and redirect your perception. Know that this is possible to you in each moment. See yourself more and more aware as you navigate your life path. May mindfulness in its most universal expression prove valuable in your life and in all your relationships, both inner and outer. May your mindfulness practice continue to grow and flower and nourish your life and work from moment to moment and from day to day. And may the world benefit from this potentially boundless flowering within your own heart. Jon Kabat-Zinn. Deep breath in. Big breath out. And one more time. Big full breath with a smile. Big release. Thank you so much for joining me today in this practice. I hope you enjoyed the inner experience, the challenge, the benefits of this therapeutic yoga. So thank you. Namaste. And taking your time here as you come to outer awareness, I'll just approach and sign off. Just want to thank everybody who's been so committed to community yoga through these pandemic times and through this Zooming format that is kind of the best option for us right now. I really hope that this was a good practice. I highly recommend everything written by Jon Kabat-Zinn. He was one of the very first authors I ever read about mindfulness with, and through his book, Wherever You Go, There You Are. So that was probably the first book I ever owned about mindfulness. And I'll just tell you that, 20 years plus of therapeutic yoga in my life has been really the ultimate path to healing. So I really wish for you all many moments of awareness, an ongoing mindfulness practice, and just know that what really matters is taking that time for yourself. So thank you for being here today. Namaste.